edition of we do two of these every day, I should say. This one, Pillow Talk, every Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. I also do a noon show every Monday through Friday, also here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. That one's called High Noon. And that's about topics, and that's about, hold up. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Sorry, people texted me. Let's bring in James Parker. James Parker, come on in, James Parker.
Hello, kids. Good to see you.
So a friend just texted me wishing me a happy birthday.
Oh, it is your birthday. Is today your birthday?
No, it was yesterday. But
Yesterday.
my point is, it's nice, but you don't care enough about me to know that I do a stream every night at 9 o'clock. I like to assume that all my friends know that at 9 o'clock, that it's not the time to text me and start engaging me in conversations about how my birthday went. So,
hell, I didn't even know it was your birthday.
It was, yeah. No, yesterday it snuck up on me. I totally forgot about it.
It's like the moon day, right?
It's like the moon day. You mean the day that man reached his single greatest achievement, the single greatest human achievement in history. Don't come at me about the pyramids. That was slave labor. That was just a bunch of slaves stacking blocks on top of each other. We put a human being, we took them from one celestial plane of existence, one planet, and we put them on another celestial, satellite. It's not a planet, it's a satellite. But you know what I'm saying?
So 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, there will only be two names that they know from our era. They will know George Washington and they will know Neil Armstrong. They will know Christopher Columbus.
They will.
Right?
They'll know Columbus. Yeah, they'll know Columbus.
So that's all you're gonna, because like from the first century BC, who do you know? Julius Caesar. That's about it.
Hold on, let's bring in our friend Rebecca in on this too, because we're just gonna kind of chase this rabbit down this hole. Why not bring in the full slate of contributors to today's show? James, introduce us to your pal.
Hey, it's Becky. Welcome back, Becky. Tell me your microphone's working good. You got it in front of you this time.
Belated happy birthday.
Good. Pugs. Yeah.
Belated happy birthday.
Pugs. I thought it sounded great. Thank you.
I've always found the birthdays. I've always found the birthdays so fascinating on Facebook. People make such a big deal because people wish them a happy birthday. And the reason they're wishing them a happy birthday is because it pops up on their screen when they sign into Facebook that day. And
does it count? It doesn't count as much, does it?
It really does. It's too easy, but it is a great tool. I mean, I rarely do the birthday thing on Facebook because one, I'm rarely on Facebook, but I do every couple of weeks. I check in on the birthday list on Facebook and I look ahead like a couple of weeks to see if anybody's coming up that I need to wish a happy birthday to. You know what I mean? I don't care about the bulk of you, but there's like one or two, like maybe an aunt, maybe like something like that. Somebody that you need to remember. Maybe some old girlfriend that you're just kind of been trying to come up with a way to reconnect with it, right? I mean, happy birthday, something like that. But I find the Facebook birthday wishes, and I'm going through this right now. I find the Facebook birthday wishes to be both wonderful, just really in the vein in which they are meant. Just wonderful. Thank you. You were thinking of me. You took the time to click. That's nice. How wonderful. And also so tedious because
now you got to respond to all of them or at least like them.
Yes. Yeah. So that's my thing. I don't care. I like all of them equally. Just like. I don't want to be responding to somebody and then have some, because then you make somebody else. Look, if I was so moved by your birthday message, I'll private message you. But just as far as like it's very
nice. People that you never see or never hang out with or you never them, but just hear from them on your birthday because it pops up on their Facebook screen. And then you get the people who will write a big paragraph thanking everybody for the birthday wishes, how much it meant to them, and they go on this long. It's like they won an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that is a good example. You are right. Now, moments before we signed on here, I did do my birthday message. Okay. My birthday message that I just here. What is it? I just wrote it like within the last 15 minutes. I think it's something you have to do after your birthday. I think that after, a number of people have reached out, you want to put out one generic, big, bold message. Here's what I put out. Thank you all for the kind birthday wishes. And to all of those who ignored my birthday, you're dead to me. That's it. That was my whole message. I think I covered all the bases.
Good.
All the
That's
people
fair.
who actually took, yeah. But that is funny. That is funny, Rebecca. It is like, it's like their big moment on stage, thanking everyone who got them to
their Academy Award speech. This is exactly what it is.
But I want to let's pivot
Pugs?
back. No, I want to pivot back to what you were talking about earlier, because this conversation fascinates me about who will we remember from the past. James, take the floor.
Yes.
Give me a little more on that. Tell me your theory on this whole thing, because I love this.
Yeah, so you don't remember anybody from the year 800. I mean, you can say like Alfred the Great, but who the hell knows who that is? So out of our era, even there might not be anybody from my generation that people 1,000 years from now will remember. 100 years from now, sure, they'll remember Barack Obama or George.
You're talking
Bush.
1,000 years down the road. 1,000 years from now.
1,000 years down the road. Really, look. I like to look at 2,000 years, because 2,000 years is the exact same time between like Jesus and us as us and 2,000 years from now, right? And if you want to be more secular about it, Julius Caesar, he was just like 40 years before Jesus happened. So it's from antiquity to now. So from now, when we are the antiquity, who will they know from our era? They won't know anyone from my generation. They will know right before my generation. They might
they will know who? You're getting sketchy. Hold on. You sketched out on everything you just said. So who you said they might know, they might not. Who?
Number one, the first person they will know from anywhere near our era is Neil Armstrong.
Okay.
Number two will be George Washington. And then you have to go back another 200 something years before that, before they remember Christopher Columbus. So in the last 500 years of human existence, those are the only three people that will be remembered when we are the antiquity.
Okay.
That's my theory.
Rebecca, do you have anybody you might like to add to that? Because I do. There's a number of people that I would add to that, but I think you are onto something, James. Rebecca?
Well, he's on to something, but I think Barack Obama, just because he was the first black president of in the history of the planet.
Yeah, they'll remember him. Yeah, I would add him to it.
So who is the first non-Italian emperor of the greatest empire in human history? It doesn't matter. No one gives a crap about that.
Well, wait a second. I can probably name this, because it would have happened when the Roman Empire split and there was an Eastern and a Western Roman Empire. So it would have been a Byzantine emperor, and that would have been
no. But look,
of course it would have.
Even if you get it right, the common man doesn't know that.
Prepared to engage in that question.
Because the emperor is Trajan. He was born in the Iberian Peninsula. He was the first non-Italian emperor of the Roman Empire. But I'm just saying, does anybody know that? No. So no one's going to remember Barack Obama. No one's going to remember that crap. By the way, we're going to be so far beyond racism 2,000 years from now. No one's going to the first black. Well, what did like you care about the first non-Italian emperor of the Roman Empire? Who cares? Trajan. What did he do? Who cares? So he was from the Iberian Peninsula. Not a big deal.
You make a fair point about that. 2,000 years from now, you're right. We might be post-racial, and it may not be something that is even notable at that point. Okay. See, you go really deep. 2,000 years is difficult, but I'm thinking more like we still remember Shakespeare, right? But Shakespeare wasn't the only dude writing plays back then. There were thousands of people that was the only entertainment they had. And sure, there are a couple of others, like, Christopher Marlowe, who was a contemporary of Shakespeare, is probably the other one who's mentioned most often. And then there were philosophers whose words and thoughts and books were turned into plays. But I mean, how about from art creation? that tends to be the thing that carries through. We know Michelangelo. We know, you know what I mean? We know these people. We know Plato. We know the philosophers, the great thinkers, the creators, and all of that at the times. Is there anybody from the past 500 years, not even 500, from the past 100 years, or more to the point, in our existence now, who will be remembered? Because it's not gonna, they're just not going to stop talking about creators after Shakespeare.
Only in our time, in the last 100 years, it will only be Neil Armstrong, unless somebody is about to make it to Mars or something.
Really, but you don't think 500, 600, 1,000 years from now, people will still remember Spielberg the way they talk about Shakespeare?
Absolutely not.
No. I do. I think Spielberg is the new Shakespeare. And I also think that they'll know Beatles songs 1,000 years from now. I think that music will just transition into being classic.
Name one musical artist from 2,000 years ago.
Well, okay, so that's what I'm saying. You're making it difficult because you're going to the 2000 extreme. I'm talking,
right, but I'm not hammering you. I'm just saying that's the standard I'm holding myself to.
2,000 years ago.
I don't think we're going to be here 2,000 years from now. So I like to think about this in the context of more 500 years from now, or at most 1,000 years from now. I mean,
well, then, yeah, they'll remember the Beatles. Okay.
And Spielberg as a Shakespearean type, you know, I mean,
I think they might.
Well, see, everybody's.
I think they might remember Derek Jeter because. Well, I just
shut up.
The champion on ESPN.
Shut
part
up.
2. And
no.
And you know, he won 4 World Series in his first 5 years. I mean, that's incredible.
No one gives a husky shit about Derek Jeter in 2022, Rebecca.
I also think, you know, 2,000 years ago, we know a lot of athletes. Like, there's a lot of Greek athletes from the early Olympics that we know. No, see, here's the thing. You don't know them, James. But if you heard their names, you'd go, oh, is that what that dude did? I heard of him before. So there are still people who stand the test of time. The whole character of Hercules is supposed to be based on some early, like, Olympic athlete from the early days of the first Olympics. So, you know, I mean, people... I don't know. It's a fun conversation because I like to think about who do we have in our midst now who is truly somebody who will be remembered 500, 1,000 years. James makes it hard with his 2,000 year thing.
I like that metric though, simply because it changes the conversation. Who's truly going to be remembered?
We're not even going to be humans anymore. We're going to be like some hybrid human alien race.
2,000 years?
Yes, we're going to be talking about people who did things on the planet Carfunk because that's where half of our population is going to be from. We're not. It's total 2,000 years is far too crazy. It's too. I can't get with that. Do you see what I'm saying, Rebecca? Do you understand my problem with this 2,000?
Well, Terry Wall. Terry's watching, and she said, "You all are making my brain hurt. We won't. So why do we care?"
That's I kind of agree. That's why I don't like the 2000.
Ram said, "Is Rebecca a guy?" I'm a transgender woman. Ram.
Hold on. Any more you got from the wall?
Just reading a couple of messages off of the board there.
I'm trying to do something on a different screen.
I appreciate you being inclusive like that.
All right, James, what do you say we hit the ground running here? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Comfort Nest stage. We do this each and every day here. What? What'd you say?
That's a great setup. That's great. Can I have the floor, please? That's what I said. Floor
so
now.
When I fine here, you can have the floor.
I appreciate what you're doing, but there you go. It doesn't make any sense if it's not arranged.
Shut up, James. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Comfort Nest Lounge. Just
James Jeter Parker. Got it.
This is a train wreck already. I got the dog barking.
Well, we're doing great.
Got the world's laziest 13-year-old in the next room who won't get up and let the dog in, even though he knows that there's a chance the police are going to get called, and then it'll be a whole. Hey, thanks for getting the dog. I was just taking my headphones off to do it because I thought there was no way in hell you would do it. Apparently, you're not the world's laziest son. I appreciate you. All right. James, how about a little monologue? Ladies and gentlemen, James Parker with a monologue.
Oh, you're a good crowd. Beautiful crowd. President Biden tested positive for COVID-19. His symptoms include a runny nose, a dry cough, and dementia.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, applause. Thank you. I'll take it. Sunday is National Cousins Day, or as it's called in Arkansas, Valentine's Day. The economy's getting worse. To give you an idea of how bad it is, Tom Selleck just got turned down for a reverse mortgage. Okay. Some of y'all watch Fox Business. That's good. Economists report an increase in shrinkflation. Again, Pugs, that's when products shrink, but the prices stay the same. I noticed this at the grocery store today when I picked up a bottle of Heinz 56 sauce.
Yeah, there it is. Saw that
one coming. I guess y'all like inflation. I also noticed this at the store, Pugs. I got a bottle of Mad Dog 2019.
Oh.
That's pretty bad. All right. Well, an extreme heat wave, Pugs, has hit Ireland. Did you hear about this one? It's so hot in Ireland. The Irishmen are actually drinking.
How hot is it? How hot is it?
Remember, the Irishmen are drinking water. And it was on this day in history, 1969, American astronauts landed on the moon. Or I guess that was yesterday, wasn't it?
No, it was yesterday. No, but
whatever.
It doesn't walked around.
It doesn't matter. That's what the government just wants us to think.
Yeah, you just move on. I don't engage in any of that nonsense.
Well, why don't you just hit the CSI sounder, because it's a joke? It was sarcasm.
I just don't no.
But it's funny if you take something ridiculously absurd and then you play
not funny to me. It's not funny.
Well, play the damn David Caruso CSI thing like damn script says. It would be funny. In Somerset, Massachusetts.
Happy?
I hate you. All right. In Massachusetts, President Biden sounded the alarm on global warming. Joe is an expert on climate change, having lived through the Ice Age. He's old.
It's undeniable. He's an old man, people. Come on.
Because he's old. All right. Reality TV star Honey Boo Boo is preparing for a weight loss procedure, and she's in good hands. Her surgeon used to work at SeaWorld. It's bad, Joe. Happy birthday to Eagles singer Don Henley. I don't want to say he's getting old, but he and the band have a new song called Dirty Diapers.
I didn't know it was his birthday.
I think it's tomorrow. Happy birthday also tomorrow to Monica Lewinsky. If you want to send her a gift, I hear she likes cigars.
Okay.
Oh, is that bad? No, I just try to get
old man joke.
Shut up. All right, here's another. Happy birthday to Monica Lewinsky. If you want to get her a gift, I hear she's registered at Seaman Marcus.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, folks.
That's right. All right.
Material, you hack. That was in the 90s.
Seaman Marcus, though. And finally, happy birthday to Guns N' Roses lead guitarist Slash. It's his birthday on Saturday, I believe. I don't want to say he's getting old, but he and the band have a new song called Welcome to the Villages.
Welcome to the villages. We got fun and games and golf carts.
Right.
And voter fraud.
Right.
All right. James is with us. Rebecca is with us. This is Pillow Talk. Pugs and Parker proudly present. Who's got something? Who would like to go first? Can I see some hands from the classroom? Anybody? Rebecca takes the floor. Rebecca, the floor is yours.
Well, where I live here in New Orleans, our district attorney is on trial.
Ooh.
And
which one?
When he ran for district attorney, he had already been federally indicted. So the voters of New Orleans knew that was hanging over his head, and they still voted him to become district attorney. His name is Jason Williams, and been federally indicted. They've got you. They've already got you. They've done their work at all the I's. They've crossed all the T's. and they've got you. The guy was tax cheat for like 7 years at his law firm. And so his trial is going on. And very, very soon, New Orleans is going to need a new district attorney.
Well, what are you doing? Are you launching your campaign? Is this an elected position? Yeah, it is, right?
No, I think you have to be a lawyer to be a district attorney. I dropped out of law school. But I get today, him and his wife, they wore bulletproof into court because evidently someone threatened his life. So that's going on here in the city of New Orleans. We're going to need a new district attorney very soon.
So when the feds bring charges against you, you're right. They do their due diligence. They have 96% conviction rate. The federal authorities, when they bring charges against you, when a grand jury's convened and you get indicted, and then they bring the charges and you're going to court, 96% of the time the Fed gets convictions on those charges. So we can just pretend like this guy did it, right? I mean, it seems like this guy did it. James, are you familiar with this story? Being a recent New Orleans resident.
Yeah, because this happened when he was on the city council. It's one of these things where money was flowing into one bank account to the wrong account. And they're like, oh, well, I thought I told my accountant this, and the accountant said that, and I guess should have dotted my I's and crossed my T's a little better. I'm sorry about that. It's one of those. It's so par for the course in New Orleans. It's almost like the city council is like this community college where they teach you how to cheat, like where they teach you how to just graft the taxpayer, instead of teaching you to be an X-ray tech or I don't know, TV repair or whatever Sally Struthers was hawking back in the day. They just teach you how, well, you might have to do like 18 months in prison, but you're walking out with 26 million on the back end. And if you don't get caught, then you get to run for state house or state senator. And the bad ones, they go to jail. They still get paid. Yeah. It's not like they don't get the money that they stole. And then they just got to do like how.
And then let's not kid ourselves, though. I've seen this time and time again in Chicago. We've seen it in New York. You go to prison and then you come out of prison and then you get to have like a 20-year highly paid media career in that city because somebody will give you a talk show. If you're a convicted politician, especially in Chicago or New York, somebody will put you on the news. Suddenly you'll do stuff to be able to try and reclaim your image and you'll be well paid for it.
If they had a more vibrant and successful media culture in New Orleans, that would exist, but it only doesn't exist because
you're right. Not the traditional media culture. It's not a thing anymore.
But Rebecca, how par for the course is that for New Orleans? Like that is happening every year, constantly.
Yeah, I've lived here a long time, and it happens all the time. It's when it comes to the leaders in this city. It's like the blind leading the deaf. Yet the voters, the people, the residents of New Orleans, they continue to vote these people in.
New Orleans is famous for their sketchy politics, but every major city has some degree of graft, corruption. They all have scandals. It just comes with power. Humanity cannot be trusted with power to do what's in the best interest of others. We can't. We're going to do, when we accumulate power, what's in the best interest of us. And that leads to scandal and corruption. In Chicago, where I'm from, we have a state's attorney system there. And the state's attorney is Kim Foxx. And Kim Foxx is the one who screwed up the whole Jussie Smollett thing. She tried to cover for him. It was made clear that she was covering for him. The police department was torn apart over this. The police department refused to work with her because of the way she basically said that she went after the police when the police started going after Jussie Smollett. The entire city of Chicago was like, you're like the only person who still believes this guy. And then it was revealed there's pictures of her on the Empire set. There's pictures of her, with her arm around Jussie Smollett like months before at fundraisers and all this shit. And she was completely scandalized by it. And then she was overwhelmingly reelected to her position. So, I mean, this happens.
Same thing. Yep.
If you've connected to a voter base, we are in such partisan times that anything that is said about you is conceived as or perceived as a lie from your voter base. It's not true. They're just trying to get you for politics and they will vote for you. James, it's what I was saying the other day. There is what is the approval rating on Congress? 1%. Something,
like 14%, 13%.
and it's because it's everybody else's guy. It's not your guy. You're going to go and you're going to reelect your congressman because you met him once and he's a good guy. And you're just it's the other guys. It's the other people in the other congressional districts who their guys are corrupt. Not my guy. It's we look at politics like we do sports and we root for our teams. We reelect our corrupt politicians in the same way that we root for our convicted rapist, third baseman. I mean, it's a sports thing. It's not about.
And if you can ever take off your jersey, you will look at the January 6th story that's going on right now, and it will look like the Green Bay fans versus the Dallas Cowboy fans on whether or not Dez caught the ball. Like, it's amazing how everyone in Green Bay can look at that replay and be like, no, that wasn't a catch. And everyone in Dallas can look at that replay and be like, of course that was the catch. And we're all looking at the same play. But the bias is so overwhelming. It's like the discussion can't even happen. Like, you don't even acknowledge the same world.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Facts aren't real. We have no institutions that we believe in anymore. There is, I'm telling you, this is like a bonfire of the vanities kind of situation that we're having. This whole place is going to go up. All right, anybody else? Or are we moving on from that? We got anybody? James, you got anything you want to hit the floor with?
Okay, you see my share screen? I have something I want to run by Becky. Is that cool?
That's fun. It's up to Becky. I don't care. Okay, I'm guessing that's a yeah. I'm guessing that's a yes. I was waiting to hear if Becky was cool. All right, what do you got, James? Go.
All right, this was on the Simpsons 2006.
Okay.
2006. All right. I just want to say that one more time. 2006.
So 16
Today
years.
we celebrate the first of many, 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 many diversity forums. Why is it that women appear to be worse at math than men? What is the source of this illusion? Or as I call it, the biggest lie ever told.
You're a worse version of Hitler.
Please believe me, I understand the problems of women. Hey,
The principal's a tranny.
am I wearing women's clothes? I didn't notice. When I look in my closet, I don't see male clothes or female clothes. They're all the same.
Are you saying that men and women are identical?
No, of course not. Women are unique in every way.
Now he's saying women and men aren't equal.
No. It's the differences, of which there are none, that make the sameness exceptional. Just tell me what to say. Today we celebrate the first of
All right. I agree with you. Just tell me what to say. I totally feel his pain right now, James.
Becky, what's your thoughts on that 2006 Simpsons?
It's ahead of its time, like a lot of Simpsons. Very much ahead of its time. That could have aired last night, and it would have. People would have been saying, "Yeah, man."
Okay, so what about the use of the word tranny? Because the principal's a tranny. See, Pugs has fussed at me before for saying tranny as if it's some sort of slur.
Yeah.
But I remember having conversations about this 10 years ago, and tranny was the acceptable word that was being thrown around. And I think it's going to come back, kind of like queer was acceptable, then it was unacceptable, and now calling someone queer is kind of acceptable, like an acceptable label again. Your thoughts on the use of the word tranny?
I don't have a problem with it, but just remember, I don't speak for all transgender people. I mean, I consider myself a tranny. I'm not offended by that. There's pretty much nothing that offends me, but I don't agree with all transgendered people on every issue. So, I speak for myself. I thought that was a good.
Pugs?
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing when you watch old clips from The Simpsons, how ahead of their time on issues and all of that stuff that they were. Look, it's funny. Are we talking? You want to hear my thoughts on the word tranny, or do you want to hear my thoughts overall on that sketch?
Oh, definitely both. Definitely both.
Okay.
I'll come back with a follow-up if you miss one.
So tranny, used by people with ill intent, has become a pejorative. It has been a way to knock someone down. Oh, look at that tranny. Look at that tranny. I don't think that should be used in quite as casual a way as maybe it was used 5 years ago. But as far as the trans community wanting to reclaim a word, that's fine by me. If they start using it and throwing it around, and social indicators suggest to me that it's all right to use that joke jokingly in civilized social circles, then okay, fine. But right now, no, I'm not gonna use tranny the way I used to. I used to use tranny all the time. It was funny. But now, out of respect and to echo what the principal on The Simpsons just said there, just tell me what to say. I am now a 53-year-old man. Just tell me what to say. Okay. I don't want to make any waves. I want to get along with everybody. I don't care who you sleep with, how you dress, how you live your life. It doesn't mean I got a lot of crazy shit about myself that you probably don't like either. Like the fact that I'm not so sure about God. We can have all kinds of crazy things but we just tell me what to say. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And also on the topic of queer, James, queer is a little different. Queer, you were struggling with how it was sort of a pejorative years ago, and now it's back and it's been embraced. Queer is used contemporarily to sort of be an umbrella over all alternative choice lifestyles. So you might be trans, you might be genderqueer, so it's not like a single thing. Everybody is queer. If you're gay, you're queer. If you're trans, you're queer. If you're non-binary, you're queer. You know what I mean? All of these things fall under the umbrella of queer choices or queer lifestyle. And that was a bad thing. Hey, you're queer. But I think it was a bad thing because of the way it was used by the people using it. Now it's being used as sort of a fundraising word, a whole new group of people that can,
Becky?
Yeah.
I'm actually offended that Pugs said if you're trans, you're queer. The word tranny doesn't offend me, but if you call me queer, I only dated women when I was doing the guy thing. But I've been living as a woman. It's
and that you're defining
like
queer with the historical understanding of how it was used pejoratively. The way the word queer is being used in contemporary times doesn't mean that you're gay. It means that you choose alternative lifestyles, whether it be trans. It's not a single thing. Being like you were just suggesting that me calling you queer or living a queer lifestyle says you're gay. That's not what it means anymore. They've sort of reclaimed it. And that's why I say, just tell me what to say. I'm
Right.
just an old man. It keeps changing in front of me.
It's crazy how it's crazy how we've gotten to this point where people are afraid to say anything anymore because of the cancel culture, and that's because of social media. But did you see where Dave Chappelle, his show in Wisconsin, just got canceled because there was 150 people protesting or 125 people protesting?
I think it was Minneapolis.
Yeah, I'm glad, because when it was my turn to come around and talk on today's show, that was the topic I was going to bring up. So we can segue right into that if you want. It was at First Avenue, the iconic concert venue in Minneapolis, Minnesota, made famous in Purple Rain. It was where Prince was playing. If you play anywhere in Minneapolis, First Avenue is like the place. I don't know what it would be equal to here in Dallas, but maybe in Chicago it would be the Metro or something like that. No, isn't there like a club in Dallas?
No, I just like calling it Smirnoff because technically it hadn't been Smirnoff since like 2003. Yeah.
So here's what happened. So Chappelle is doing this nationwide tour. I talked about this a little bit at lunchtime today. Chappelle's career is over because we're going to cancel Chappelle because of... Okay. All right. That's all well and good. But I don't think his career is over because his shows are selling out instantly in every city where tickets become available. Like Minneapolis. This show at First Avenue sold out in less than 30 minutes after they went on sale. All those, concert tickets go on sale weeks beforehand, months beforehand in some cases. So there was a small community of rabble-rousers who built their following through people who don't even live in the Minneapolis area, who will never go to a show at First Avenue. They were able to create this sort of mob, and First Avenue collapsed the night before Chappelle was supposed to start playing. His shows are the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. The night before, First Avenue, fearing some sort of damage to their iconic brand, and First Avenue in the music business, in the performing live business is an iconic brand. It's the place in Minneapolis. They decided at the last minute that they were going to move Chappelle's show over to the Varsity, which is another club that is owned by the management group that runs. So they didn't want to damage the reputation of the iconic First Avenue by having a controversial person, but they also didn't want to refund the tickets, or, they wanted to make the beer money and the parking money. So they just moved it to one of their lesser venues to allow that venue to take all the protests, so that, maybe Barack Obama will make a speech at First Avenue one day. You know what I mean? It's like one of those kinds of deals. James, what do you think? Are you familiar with this story? I mean, what is it? I see it as simply a brand protecting itself. Is it gutless? Absolutely. Is it cowardly? Yeah. But, I get why First Avenue did it, and there should be nobody complaining about it, because this other place, the Varsity, is like a block away. It's no different. You're just going to a different building. That's all.
It's a reminder that when we talk about Dave Chappelle's about to play it was called the First Avenue Theater. Is that what it's called?
I think it's just called First Avenue. First Avenue.
Just First Avenue.
Yeah.
Well, if he's going to go play at First Avenue, he's not going to go play at this, amalgamation, this collection of concrete and steel. It is a building, but there's a human being behind the decisions on who gets to play there. And if you find a human being who just personally has a vendetta, or is personally influenced by that, or you don't know who's going to be in that seat. It could be me, it could be someone like me, it could be someone like Becky, it could be someone like Pugs, it could be someone like Rachel Maddow, it could be someone like Tucker Carlson. You don't know. But we don't really think of these buildings and these venues as having a personality, and technically they don't. But the people who's making these decisions, it's a personality. So every once in a while, when you're a dude that is playing all across America and all kinds of venues, you're going to come across some people who just aren't going to like your jam. And maybe it's political, maybe it's a business decision, maybe it's just kind of the larger legacy thing that Pugs described. They're just not going to like your stuff. And you know what? I bet you there's 1,000 other places in Minneapolis who would love to have you. It's not really.
Yeah. But that's the thing that makes me laugh about it. The First Avenue brand can look good to a group of people who were very upset. I can't believe it. They can look good. It's a hollow victory for them, because First Avenue didn't refund any tickets. They just moved them to a lesser club that they also own. They can look good. Look at us standing up for the woke crowd, while still selling all the beer they intended to on that night, not having to
almost
refund
can't
any
blame
of the
them.
tickets. It's
Right.
win-win. Right. It's win-win. Here is the statement. And Rebecca, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Here's the statement, though, the official statement as given by First Avenue in Minneapolis. The Dave Chappelle show tonight at First Avenue has been canceled and is moving to the Varsity Theater. To staff, artists, and our community, we hear you and we are sorry. We know we must hold ourselves to the highest standards, and we know that we let you down. We're not just a black box with people in it, and we understand that First Avenue is not just a room, but meaningful beyond our walls. The First Avenue team and you have worked hard to make our venues the safest spaces in the country, and we will continue with that mission. We believe in diverse voices and freedom of artistic expression. This is not an example of that. If that's what they're claiming, this is not an example. We believe in diverse voices and the freedom of artistic expression, but in honoring that, we lost sight of the impact this would have. We know there are some of you who will not agree with this decision, and you are welcome to send feedback. If you are a ticket holder, look for an email with information on the above ticket transferring to the show at the Varsity Theater. Thank you, First Avenue. All right.
Go.
Well, I guess you could call me sleep, because I'm not woke, because I'm a big Dave Chappelle fan. And even though Dave Chappelle told a few tranny jokes or transgender jokes or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that suddenly, because I'm trans, I don't like him anymore.
Well, let me ask you something. Hold on.
I've been a fan of Dave Chappelle for a very long time.
Hold on. Let me ask you one question on that before you go down this road any further. Because I have been defending the closer, Dave Chappelle's scandalous Netflix special where he supposedly attacks the trans community. You said he told trans jokes. And yes, he did. He told jokes about the modern social shift of transitioning, which is a thing that comedians and artists should, for a time capsule's sake, opine on in the moment. Did you feel those were anti-trans jokes, or was he just using the trans community as sort of a jumping off point for him to talk? Did you feel attacked by Dave Chappelle's anti-trans humor? Because I'm not trans, so maybe I didn't pick up on it, but I didn't think it was anti. As a matter of fact, in certain parts, I thought it was absolutely lovely. I thought it was really beautiful, some of the stuff he said.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with what Dave Chappelle said. I've been enjoying Dave Chappelle for a long time, and he just happened to be talking about the trans phenomenon that's going on now, this time in history. And he said the few things that some people in his community didn't like, so now they want to cancel him. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. You can disagree with him, but cancel him? Really?
But I mean,
think about it. Go back the last 20 years. Who's been the funniest American comedian? Who's been the funniest guy in America?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle or Bo Burnham. Maybe John Mulaney. No, but you're absolutely right. He is a very important... Look, in our time, we just call him a comedian. But again, going back to the conversation of earlier, 300-400 years from now, he might be known as a philosopher. Somebody who just, had these kinds of takes on the current times. So, I mean, I think he's an incredibly... There are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of stand-up comedians running around America. I think that Dave Chappelle is probably one of the 2 or 3 most important voices in comedy in the last 50 years, easily. So, yeah, I mean, I think he has earned the right to be able to say what he wants to say. I don't think he has ever in his career shown that he has a propensity for malice or hatred or cruelty. I think just the opposite. I think Dave Chappelle has been wildly funny while opening the rest of our eyes to some of maybe our own bigotries or injustices. I don't think that Dave Chappelle is the problem that we should be attacking in this.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. Becky?
Terry, sadly, nobody will remember him 2,000 years from now. No, they won't, Terry. You're right, sadly.
No. Can you just walk through some of the comments, Pugs? You're the guy that is holding the mouse that can actually throw them up on the screen. Let's take a second to go back and respond. Like, can you go back to the beginning of the show? Because I remember there were 4 questions in the first little 10-minute spiel that we should probably address.
Let's see. Let's get through all of the hello, boys. Yo, Pugs. Yo, Parker. John says hello from San Bernardino. Michael says hello, hello, hello. Everybody's saying hi. Got a bunch of people paired. All right, Pugs. Byron says my name will be remembered if my plan to start the Hummel race is successful. I don't know what that one is. Byron is very funny. Says, damn, I'd hate to have that kind of worry. Care less about what we think. I don't see any questions, James. I'm looking for questions. Hold on. Joe says, I turn off my birthday notices on Facebook just to not hassle with having to like anyone. Okay, I get that.
Yes.
Byron is laying into some moon landing hoax stuff. We'll have none of that conversation on this show. And by the way, any of you... I'm like a ninja when it comes to tearing apart moon landing deniers and all of their conspiracy theories. I am well studied in what to tell people when they say shit like,
of course we landed on the moon.
Waving? What's that, James? Sorry.
Of course we landed on the moon. Don't be ridiculous.
According to AOC, Jeff Ballard says we won't be here 5 years from now. No, I want to see where she said that, but you just keep putting it out there, Jeffy. I love you anyway. Jeff Ballard also says the Battle of Marathon is how we got the marathon, but can you name the soldier? Yes, I can. Euripides. I just made that up. Or did I? I don't know. That's what Google's for. See if I was right.
I think no. I know his name. His name was Rusty. I think it was Rusty.
That's right. It was Kenny. It was Kenny Papado.
Yeah, right. The Hellenistic Greek Kenny.
Kenny Papado. He was the guy that ran the first marathon.
Made a hell of a euro.
And he is right, though. That is why it's called a marathon, because it was like it was a soldier.
The Battle of Marathon.
Yeah.
Freaking Persians.
All right, I don't see any questions here. I'm sorry. Brad Pitt wore a skirt at the Bullet Train premiere. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Here, let me show you that. Did you see these pictures, James? Or Rebecca too, I guess. Boy, look at me.
Is this recent?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Bullet.
I saw this.
He's got this new awesome movie coming out. I can't wait to see it. Hold on.
So do you wear a kilt? Because I have a friend Colin who wore a kilt at his wedding. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, you just hold on. I want to get into all that. I have some kilt thoughts.
Yeah, that little pouch in the front's called a sporn, apparently.
I don't know.
I was like, nice purse. He's like, it's a sporn. I'm like, well, then I just learned a new word because I don't know what a sporn is.
Sporn. All right, here we go. Let's look at some of these pictures. Here we are. All right, we'll just start right here. So the Bullet Train, which is a new movie Brad Pitt has coming out here. Brad Pitt walked the red carpet at the world premiere wearing a skirt, and the entire internet is going nuts. Look at him there. Look at him in that skirt. Dudes have been wearing skirts now for well, I mean, people have been cross-dressing, for a long time, and there's been trans people. So, but what I'm saying is like Harry Styles have been wearing skirts for like a couple of years, right? Isn't that like a big thing? And now we got Brad Pitt walking a big red carpet in a skirt.
I think he went through a phase. I think Harry Styles was in a skirty phase.
I think he still is from time to time. I think we still look at that. See, let me say this about this. Why can't I wear what?
Wear a skirt, dude.
I think I might enjoy a skirt.
Wear a skirt.
And I think that guys who wear kilts, I think they agree with me. And I think that we just kind of made another category for the kilt so that like manly men could feel that. But that looks really comfortable. I mean, do you, Rebecca, do you wear skirts? Is this something, can you speak to the comfort of, just letting the boys fly down there?
Yeah, they're cool.
Their skirts are cool. That's not, I got that.
All right. Here's the question the straight non-trans guy has about the skirt. Do you ever wear it without drawers, and what the heck's going on there? Because it feels like I would just be, the Kramer line is a naked boy roaming the countryside or whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to be careful if you're going to wear a skirt without underwear.
Yeah.
Especially if you see something that you like or something that you find attractive. You'd have to be really careful in that situation.
Oh, I hadn't considered the male erectile problem with wearing a skirt. I guess that might change things.
Well, with no drawers. Skirt with no drawers.
Well, right. Yeah. Well, that's what the whole thing is. I don't think I'd wear underwear if I wore it. I thought that was the whole point. I mean, a lot of women don't wear underwear, right? I mean, Britney Spears.
I think most women wear underwear when they have drawers on when they're wearing a skirt. Pugs.
Not the fun ones.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the overwhelming majority of women are wearing drawers with a skirt.
Well, what about with kilts? I mean, don't dudes who wear kilts, isn't that the big joke? Don't they wear nothing under there? Or do they probably really, in actuality, wear something under there?
I'm sure William Wallace wore underwear under his kilt.
Where did
William Wallace? You don't know crap about William Wallace. Where did
William Wallace get his underwear from? Do you know how hard it was just to make like a towel in those days? You think they're making underwear? You think
they had elastic? You think they had the trap door in case you wanted to sneak out?
Zippers? No, think about that. There was no right. Underwear has to be like when the loom was invented or something that allowed people to make, because that's a secondary need. You need pants for warmth when it gets cold and stuff, but do you really need another layer? If coming across clothing is really difficult, when most of what you're wearing comes off the back of raccoons, you don't have underwear. Where are you getting underwear?
Right. I mean, you have some sort of equivalent, like you have some bloomers or something, because, dude, it snows in Scotland. So they got something going on. But Becky's got bloomers. Don't you wear bloomers with your skirt sometimes? You got some bloomers, Becky?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
I don't even know what bloomers are.
You don't know what bloomers are?
Not a clue. Sorry, I didn't date in the 1890s. I have no idea what bloomers are. What are bloomers?
Well, even if I didn't have a sister, I have a little girl. Becky, describe to Pugs when and where and what the heck bloomers are.
Well, they something that underwear used to be called, but I wear underwear. I wear panties.
Yeah,
They're
there are
cool.
there are two kinds of things that exist in a woman's underwear drawer. It's panties and period panties. Those are like the two kind. Maybe one drawer
That's
is
not
for
what
period.
bloomers are, though.
Yeah,
Bloomers is something
exactly.
you
I don't
wear
know what
over
bloomers
that.
are.
Bloomers is something you wear over that, and it's really just to cover up your stuff so that people don't see your panties.
In your sister in the 1990s had this piece
Well,
of clothing?
growing up, when
Really?
she was younger, she wore bloomers something you wear under your skirt, so when you bend over, people can't see your drawers.
Sounds very Little
Right?
House on the Prairie.
It's not a Little House on the Prairie.
It sounds
This
like
is
it.
quite typical for a girl's chest of drawers to have bloomers in it.
Well, we are getting way downfield.
So you're telling me William Wallace didn't wear underwear under his kilt? Did Mel Gibson wear underwear when he was filming the movie?
He very well may have, but for you to be so confident to speak on the level of specificity on William Wallace's underpants is beyond credibility, is what we're saying. I think. Am I speaking for you, Pugs? Do you agree with
Yeah,
that?
I'm there too because I don't know what the underwear said. You couldn't just when I need underwear, I run up to Target. I don't know what the situation was back in William Wallace's days, and it seems like, and when my underwear is dirty and I don't want to run up to Target, I don't wear underwear that day. So see, they're like a secondary thing for me in 1922. I can only imagine how frivolous they were to William Wallace back in 10-5 or whatever that.
And I don't think we have any reliable source material on William Wallace's undergarments. Like, there's
you don't think you could go to Google and type in, "Did William Wallace wear underwear underneath his kilt"?
One step ahead of you.
Type in drawers. Type in drawers.
I did Mel Gibson wear underwear in Braveheart?
Yeah, Mel Gibson did, but William Wallace, we have no idea. We have no way of knowing.
He was definitely Mel Gibson wore underwear in Braveheart underneath his kilt. So at least we know that. We don't have the answer to William Wallace. Let's see. True Scotland is a humorous term used in Scotland for a man wearing a kilt without undergarments. Though the tradition originated in the military, it has entered Scottish lore as a rite, an expression of light-hearted curiosity about the custom and even a subversive gesture. All right, so some dudes in Scotland do not wear underwear underneath their kilts. However, many do, and the ones who don't are kind of doing it as a goof. So there you go. So at least we know about the modern practice of what you wear under your kilt. It seems like underwear is expected, but if you want to be wacky, you don't have to. Now, let's find the history of underwear. I want to know when people started wearing underwear because did Julius Caesar wear underwear? I don't think so. He just wore a toga, right? I mean, when did underwear come into being a thing?
Well, funny, Jeff just said in the chat room they didn't even have toilet paper back then. So they definitely didn't waste the time with the tighty whities. Right. He's talking about William Wallace.
Hold on. When did people start wearing underwear? Let's see.
Well, I think first you got to define what is underwear because, does a loincloth count as underwear?
Well, you're right, James, but we got to jump down this bunny hole at some point. So that's
okay. Well, then we're starting with definitions. It has to be some sort of garment, and the term underwear implies that there's something else that's worn on top of it. So, something that looks like underwear, if it's actually an outer garment that you're wearing because you're running around, just wearing a loincloth, throwing spears or whatever, it looks like underwear. It has the same function as underwear, but it's not really underwear now, is it?
All right, the underwear that we know, that we think of today, that was really popularized around the 1950s. So even in like World War II, yeah, no, but they wore underwear. It was just they said it was crude cotton. Actually, I just clicked on undergarment. I want to see the history of undergarment history. All right. Ancient history undergarments. The loincloth is the simplest form of underwear. James,
doesn't count, because that's outerwear. That's not underwear. It has to be under something else.
It says it was probably the first undergarment worn by human beings in warmer climates. Loincloth may take three major forms. The first and simplest is just a long strip of material that is placed between the legs and then wrapped around the waist. Archaeologists have, Jesus was kind of wearing underwear, wasn't he, on the cross?
Definitely, he's wearing a diaper almost.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I don't. Hey, Rebecca, William Wallace, maybe he had underwear. I don't know. I stand corrected. Now I'm thinking about Jesus up there. Although my church probably couldn't have nude Jesus hanging up there.
Well, Jeff Ballard's asking a very important question. When do the ladies start wearing butt floss? What is the birthday of the thong? When did the thong come about?
The thong. I don't know about
Late
the thong.
80s?
We just celebrated.
No, early, probably 70s, right?
No, I think Rebecca's. I don't remember thongs in the 70s. Although, just because I don't remember in the 70s, they were probably, they debuted in Mykonos in 1974, but we didn't see them in American beaches until 85.
All right. Hey, so fashion designer Rudd Giernicki, I don't know his name, invented thong underwear in 1974.
Just said that jokingly. All right.
1974. Rudy, I don't know this name, Gernreich, is credited with introducing the first thong bikini in 1974.
Okay, but when did they start being seen places? Because I'm telling you, I never saw a thong bikini until the late 80s, early 90s.
Agreed. But this is like real American hero territory.
It's
right
like,
here.
I don't care if you tell me the buffalo wings were invented in the 1920s. I didn't have them until the early 90s, right? So for me, buffalo wings weren't around until the 1990s.
Dude, so we have a handful of geniuses, and we don't even know who these guys are. But when did we talk girls into wearing thongs? How amazing is that? Just like, we'll just put a string up our butt crack and we'll just consider it the same as being clothed, because it's not. And like, when did we talk girls wearing see-through shirts? Have you noticed how like they get the vintage, like super thin, wore out t-shirts that are see-through now, and you can totally see their bra through it, and girls just wear it. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I'll wear a halfway see-through shirt. It's like, hang on a second, was I in charge of the fashion world and just forgot about it? Because that sounds like some dumb stuff I would come up with. Like, what's the new fashion trend for 2022, James? Oh, it should be see-through shirts.
James, first of all, you and I, middle-aged white straight men, in traditional. Hold on, sorry. We didn't convince them of anything. Okay, every fashion trend that a woman wears today, they were convinced to do that by a gay man. A gay man convinced a woman at some point that the thong was a thing, it was a fashion thing, and then women went with it. But certainly not. Had it come from you or me that they should wear butt floss, we're misogynist and how gross. But
they would have said no.
Right,
they would have said no. Yeah.
Oh, girl, you wear that. So thank you to our gay brethren for doing the heavy lifting on this one.
They did that for us, didn't they? They knew I would like that, and they want to make me happy because they're gay, and I'm, moderately attractive
an olive branch
guy,
from that community to us.
Well done.
All right, I got nothing else. Anybody else got anything else, James? Anything you want to leave us with? Rebecca, anything you want to leave us with?
No, I just the Facebook birthday will always blow me away, and we're looking for a new district attorney soon here in the city of New Orleans. So if you know anybody who's looking for a job.
Well, I do have one little send-off here, and is that today I bought tickets for the September 11th game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Dallas, and I'm going to be in the stadium, and it's going to be standing room only, and it's going to be awesome, and y'all should go. You should go. Get some standing room only tickets. They're not expensive. It's the only thing left. But can y'all go? Is there any way you can go? Becky, don't tell me your schedule's full. Is there any way you can go September 11th? Let's do this. Let's go get stupid.
I could go. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't have anything on the books right now for September 11th. So
the only tickets they got left.
Perhaps. That's the best answer we're going to give you, James. Rebecca and I will give you a perhaps, and we'll see where that goes.
Because the only tickets they got left are standing room only. I got standing room only. It's going to be me and Stephanie. Remember, we went to the Tampa Bay game last year. And if y'all were there, I mean, just for purposes of content on the show, it would be awesome. But really, I mean, we're Cowboys fans here, and it would be awesome.
I'm already going to Cowboys Bears, which is in October, I think. I think that's the one, Bears at Cowboys. And then I got a bunch of
already
Ranger
looking like it's going to be a long year for the Bears.
Yeah, it sure is. Rebuild, full on rebuild, baby.
Who's your quarterback, Pugs? Who's your quarterback?
Our quarterback's the whole thing we're building around. Our quarterback is Justin Fields. Our quarterback is a second-year hopeful superstar that we've gotten rid of everybody. We have so much cap space. We've got nothing but garbage players and a young second-year player that we're going in next year in free agency. We're going to be big players. We've got no more Khalil Mack, no more Akeem Hicks, no more anybody that was good on this team. We got rid of them. We fired the coach. We fired the management. We fired everybody, and we've just got Justin Fields standing there going, "You're going to put people around me, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, kid, trust us. We're building around you." So that's all we got. It's going to be a long season. Doesn't matter. Hey,
Man, if you can make it
at least I don't have any hollow hope. I'm tired of going into these seasons with lackluster teams, but you've got hope. Like, well, if this happens, no, I'm going into this football season knowing that my team is trash. And quite frankly, my second team, the Cowboys, they don't really inspire me either. No. I'm not really inspired by either of my
They have hope, though. There's hope there.
Yeah.
There's hope in Dallas.
Yeah.
All right, well, come join me September 11th. Let's go to the Cowboy game, man. This will be great.
All right, we can. All right, thank you, Rebecca. It's lovely to see you as always. Join us again next week or whenever it is that you feel so inclined. I like the new setup. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Pugs.
Always welcome. James, disappear now. James is gone. There he is. All right, join me tomorrow at high noon, 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for the High Noon Show. That's topics. It's all the things that are trending, headlines, anything people are talking about. We go through it there on the High Noon Show. Just kind of a way to get you all prepped up for the day. So you know at least a little bit about what everybody's talking about. You can support the show. You know what? A couple of you, John, my guy John, thank you for the wonderful birthday present. Thank you, John. So much. I appreciate how cool so many of you were. I just celebrated a birthday yesterday, so thank you for that. I guess that's it. I guess tip the show, support the show if you can. That goes without saying. Don't like the press, but there it is. Threw it out there. The obligatory self-plug. Venmo, Cash App, however, tip me like I'm your bartender. Whatever you need to do. I appreciate you anyway. We're going to keep doing the show regardless. Fingers crossed. I say that with fingers crossed. What am I going to do? Got a bit of a headache, so we're not going to do a night swim tonight. I think I'm going to go in the next room, lay in front of the big screen and watch some Game of Thrones with my 13-year-old son, who I'm so excited that last night he said, "Dad, I want to watch Game of Thrones." I'm like, it's my favorite show of all time. And he's like, "Yeah?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So we watched season 1, episode 1 last night. And now we're going to go in there and we're going to watch season 1, episode 2. Very excited. He likes it. He really does. All right, bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the High Noon Show. Appreciate you stopping by here on Pillow Talk. Again, Pillow Talk airs every Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time. And we also do High Noon. That's Monday through Friday, noon to whenever. Bye, everybody. Sleep well. Love you. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.